Hello again, my name's Anna Schmidt and I am a house healer, a paranormal clearing specialist and a psychic development teacher. And today I'd like to talk with you about what are paranormal energies. I get this question a lot. Paranormal energies, just the word paranormal throws people into a headspin. They go into fear, paranoia, and they can't think straight about what the word actually means. So I work as a paranormal clearing specialist every single day. It's part of my house healing work, but it's also part of my energy field clearing work as well for my individual clients. Now, the word paranormal, in my opinion, is a definition of what we can't see in an energetic being sense. So it encompasses spirits as well as the heavier energies, the dark energies, and the demonic level energy beings. So they are energetic beings that are invisible to our normal senses. When you develop your psychic senses, seeing, hearing, feeling, touching, tasting, knowing, and smelling, you'll find that you may pick up on energetic beings that are around you. Our spirit family, which is our family that has passed, and our spirit guides, they come and visit us all the time. You may see them in your dreams. You may feel them through music that they used to play, or you smell a particular smell like Granddad's cigars, and it's like, oh, Granddad's here. So that is part of the paranormal world, is the spirits that are present around us. They come quite often at full moon time, or if there is a trauma in the family, or they just want to give you a message. They'll just pop into your dreams or come into your home. You'll feel that touch on your shoulder, that sort of reaffirming hug that Granny used to give you that just makes you feel really great. Now, that's not scary at all. They are our relatives, they are our friends, they are people that we knew. When we head into the more unknown end of the paranormal scale, this is where people tend to go into fear overload. Now, I work with these energies every day, and I have built up a quality relationship and reputation with working with these beings. Now, I have a book coming out very, very soon. It's March 2022 today, 1st of March. The book will be out mid-March, and it talks about my work and my experiences through the work that I do with the paranormal energies. I mean, I'm still here. I'm still fully functional, got all my faculties. So they don't hurt us the way that they are portrayed in movies. That is done as an adrenaline rush to give you the jump start or the shock or the fear or to give you that rush that people need to either get them excited or to keep them at a lower level of evolution. Now, these energetic beings, I talk about dark energy like all the time. I just talk about anyone who's interested in listening. I will talk about it from my perspective as a house healer and a clearing specialist in the paranormal area, because they are around us all the time. Just as I talk to people a lot about working with their spirit guides, angels, archangels, God source, creator energy. That is a higher vibrational energy. People seem quite comfortable with that. They seem quite cool with the idea that they can talk to their spirit animal or their spirit guides. But when we get to the other end of the scale, we have been conditioned and trained to fear these beings. Now, the book that I've written outlays all the ways that I work with them, who they are, signs and symptoms of when they're around, attachment methods when they're attached to you or your home or the land, paranormal addiction, which is massive in a lot of people. They get so addicted to it that they're attracting these beings to them all the time. They don't know why and they don't know how to get rid of them. So I talk about all of this from my perspective through my work I've done over the last 30 years. Pretty much my whole life has been a paranormal story, but it wasn't until in my mid-20s I started to settle into it. So in the book, I also talk about where they go once they are removed. Now, a lot of the information in this book has come straight from the mouths of these beings, because my home is a bit like a transition station. It's a bit like a train station. You know, when they've had enough, they'll come to me and they'll go, right, I'm ready to move on. So I help them release their attachment to the earth plane so they are then able to evolve. And yes, dark energy beings, dark is just a word, you know, because they're a denser vibration. I could call them lower vibrational beings, but that takes too long. So we just call them dark energy beings or dark beings. They have the ability to choose to evolve their soul energy. And yes, they do have souls. Now, this information is going to trigger a lot of people into not coping. I've already lost a couple of friends over this. They're just like, no, I can't cope with what you do, so I'm just going to see you later. That's their choice. I know what I do is genuine, authentic, and it is offering support to beings that otherwise are shunned, feared, hated, and not given a chance to explain who they are, what they do, why they are here. So this is why I was pushed by management to write this second book, is to explain who they are, why they're here, and how we attract them, and how we can actually use their presence as a way to raise our vibration. Now, I know that sounds totally left of field, but I am physically clean, mentally and emotionally clean, and spiritually clean as well. Energetically, I do not have any trapped emotions present in my energy field that is going to attract lower vibrational beings or cause sickness or ill health in my physical body or in my mind, because I work on myself all the time. And you know how I've done that is by being your average human being who creates resentment, shame, guilt, hatred on the odd occasion, fear, paranoia, excuse me, by recognizing that I create those emotions and going, okay, what's a better way to get through a situation or to handle a situation where I'm not creating those emotions that then draw in the dark energy feeders, because they literally feed off our emotional energy. There's no other way to say it. They're not here to hurt you, harm you, kill you. Like seriously, there is a minute number of the very high vibrational dark energies that are just malevolent. But there's very, very few of those. So we don't focus on them. But I do say it because then I'm being genuine and honest and authentic with you. So, you know, there are a few out there. But with all the trillions of dark energies that are around, they are on the very smallest end of the scale. Most of them are just feeders. They feed off our negative emotional buildup in our physical bodies, in our energy fields, in our homes. This is why, as a house healer, I take a different approach when I do my house healing. Yes, I look at geopathic stresses, earth energy lines, earth energy spirals, sinkholes, portals, all those sorts of things. But I focus mainly on trapped emotions in the land, the building, and the people that are in the homes. Because those trapped emotions draw these beings into the homes, and sometimes they attach to the people. They just get in your space and they mess with your head and you can't think straight. And I help people to understand how to clear. I clear them, and then we talk about raising the vibration of the people and the home to keep these energies away. So in a way, dark energy beings actually assist us to raise our vibration. I'm getting a big yes on this. My big confirmation yes is coming through. Is that just as much as your guides, angels and archangels support you with guidance and information to help you evolve as a spiritual being in a human body, the dark energy beings are the balance of that guidance. They help us recognize our shadow self. I'm getting a big tingle on this. Is that they help us recognize our shadow self. I create resentment a lot. I'm being honest here. I just create resentment. Someone annoys me and they'll get stuck in my head and it'll just go round and round and round and round. Why did this happen? Why didn't it happen this way? Blah, blah, blah. All that monkey chatter. And then within a couple of days, I will be doing my daily clearing and I've got resentment. And when I look at the time frame, I went, oh, I was thinking slightly horrible thoughts about a particular person. I need to stop doing that. I need to stop. So now, when I feel that, or if say I've had a break with people, like these two ladies that just won't talk to me anymore because of the work I do, I have no resentment towards them because that is their perspective. That is where they want to be at this particular time. They're not ready for it. Thank you. They're not ready for the way I work. I'm very much left of field. I have never been mainstream. I have never fitted in anywhere. And this is why I work with the beings that don't fit in anywhere. They have been shunned and they've been pushed aside because people are fearful and scared of them. They're going to hurt me and oh my God, they're going to do things to me. It's a whole heap of rubbish. They are teachers just as much as our higher vibrational support beings are teachers as well. Now, the dark energies will be present around you. I will give an example. I love giving examples. I do a lot of transitioning, which I've talked about earlier, which means the dark energies will come to me, come to my home every morning, will clear what they need to clear. They move on to this particular place in the afterlife that is there for them. Now, I went to a little market yesterday, a little country market, and I was there, had my stall, and I went around the building to the other side of the hall to talk to a lady. And as I stepped through this area, I went, oh, I feel a bit funny, I feel a bit weird. I'm not going to focus on that. I need to finish the conversation, get the message across to the lady that I was talking to. And then as I went round past that stall again, I tripped up. And I'm like, whoa, that's weird. I don't trip, I don't fall. It's very, very randomly that my feet will do that to me. Something in that spot put an energetic blockage in the way that nearly made me fall flat on my face. So I went, okay, do I get angry? Do I get upset about this situation that's just happened? I go, no. So what could possibly be there? Dark energy? The higher vibrational demonic level energies. I don't use that word very often because people go, oh my God, they go straight to all the Hollywood movies that they've seen that will just spin their mind into total fear. These energy beings were in that little spot in front of the stall because they'd been deposited there by a lady who had an argument with this particular stall holder. She was in the wrong and the other lady was just trying to calm her down and to get her to feel better. And this woman just stormed off in a fit of rage, literally. So people who carry that sort of really deep-seated, angry energy, or they're just in those states where they're not thinking straight, they can sometimes attract these energy beings. And they get in through tears in your auric field, which is your energy field around your body. When you live in a lower vibrational state, your energy field can develop tears through the thoughts, the words, the actions, that this lady was expelling to the other stall holder. So when I got home, I couldn't deal with it there and then. Too many people around. So I need a bit of quiet space when I do my work. I tuned in to that spot. And lo and behold, there were 4 demonic beings who were deposited in that one spot. So I am very psychically sensitive, sentient. Clairsentient is where my brain was going. That is the word that talks about the feeling, the knowing through feeling that energy has changed around you. So I tuned in remotely when I got home and I looked at that spot in the floor. And the energy beings were instantly in my home. I'm like, there you are. I knew you would come. They wanted assistance. They weren't there to cause havoc or to trip people up or to be detrimental to other people. They were feeding off a deposit of 4 emotions. There's usually 1 per energy that they favour. It's their favourite thing that they feed off. There was 4 emotions there that they were in a group and they were all feeding off these emotions, just going about their business. Humans drop these emotional energy imprints everywhere that we go, especially when there's masses of people. I'm getting distracted here. So these energies were there feeding off these emotions. Along comes an energy clearer who walks through the exact spot where they're standing. They're like, oh, she's here. Some of them were a bit affronted by me disrupting what they were doing. That's where the trip came in, is that I'd disrupted what they were up to. All right, I don't clear beings unless I'm given permission, or unless they're detrimental to a client who gives me permission to clear them, because they're there for a reason. It's like everything in the universe. To be ethical, you always ask permission to do the work, whether it's the land, people, animals, working with plants, trees. You always ask permission to enter their energetic space. So anyway, these 4 demonic level beings that recognized what I do, because we all have an energy field that I talked about earlier. People who do a lot of spiritual work, a lot of energy work, we have either brighter or shinier energy fields, and we just stick out like a moth to a light. They're just going to all flitter in. And because I specialize in this work, they come to me. They're not going to go to everybody. So don't get fearful of that if you do Reiki or energy healing or sound therapy. I specialize in this work. That is why they come to me. All right, and I'm just sharing this so you understand where I come from when you look at some of my other videos and I talk about dark energy. So these energy beings, they just wanted to transition to the other side, but they didn't know who to ask, how to go about it. Until they found me, I just happened to step through. Was it coincidence, or was it meant to happen that I stepped through that space? So they were in my home. 3 of them went easily. I found out what they were attached to, what they needed to release. They weren't attached to anything in my home or myself, but I needed to help them release something so that they could go. One was a little bit naughty, and I couldn't get rid of that energy, sorry, that's disrespectful. I couldn't move on that energy being until this morning, because it had multiple layers of attachment. It was attached to something in the home. It had something that it was attached to. It had sunk a psychic cord into myself because it liked me so much it wanted to stay. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, but you can't do that. I work as a transitioner. I help you to transition to the place that you need to be at. Now, sometimes these energies will not transition to the place they go in the afterlife. They go back to where they came from. It's as simple as that. We as spirit or energy clearers, we do not have permission to terminate these energies. Now, that very, very minimal percentage that you heard me talk about earlier, I have had those. I've had to deal with those. Management steps in and they're done with them. They're gone. I will do my best and go through all my processes to help them understand and make a choice. And if they're not going to make a choice and they're becoming harmful, sinking in energy cords, hooks, ties, tentacles, psychic attack, I'll put a link upstairs up there to psychic attack, about how that is like an offensive attack of energy within your energy field that can disrupt your mind, body and spirit. But some of these just cannot be dealt with, and that management will deal with them. But we as human beings do not have the right to make that decision. So when you see people going into houses with crosses and holy water and swearing and cursing and calling them names, do you think that that actually helps the energy to understand that it needs to move on? Or does it irritate it and make it really crabby? And then they retaliate. And believe me, they can retaliate, especially the demonic level beings. You annoy them enough, they will let you know. I've had experiences with this in the early days when I didn't understand. So this is now why in 2022, when my book comes out next month, I'm going to be sharing lots of information about our lower vibrational inhabitants that are around us all the time. They're not to be feared. They are to be understood and given the level of respect that you are comfortable with. Because they are an energy being. They have a soul. Now, how you say to me, how can dark energy have a soul? We all come from one place in the universe, and I say this all the time. We all come from one mass consciousness to begin with. And then we, by our choices or by our soul contract, we choose a particular path. And then sometimes with the dark energies, and I have seen this, I have visualized these particular things happening, they become so encrusted with blackness and heavy emotions and darkness and trauma, and they become, their soul energy literally goes from being a bright light down to almost like hibernating. It becomes this tiny little flicker inside them that they know is there, but I can't do anything about it, so why should I even bother, becomes the attitude. So they just go on with their lives doing whatever it is that they do to the level of work that they're allowed to do. But when someone like me comes along and I come across them through work that I do, whether they're in my home or I'm employed to do a house healing job or an energy field assessment and clearing, I will work with them. I will assist them to make a choice that they want. Okay? So don't be feared of these things when you see them. Remember, what you see on TV and in the movies is designed to create fear, adrenaline rush for you, to keep you small, to keep your mind closed. My spiritual self has expanded so much since I've relaxed and understood that all those things I went through as a child, all the shoulder taps and the whispering in my ears and all the things that were going on weren't to be feared. They were energy beings who don't have bodies trying to communicate with me. Right? It took me a long time to get the hang of that. But now I'm in my 50s, I'm just riding with it. And you know what? I have expanded spiritually upwards. My elevation and raising in my vibration has my vibration. This happens. My speech changes when there's dark energy beings around because I'm talking about them. They're here observing, and they disrupt me in a motor function, whether it's my mouth, my jaw, sometimes my speech can be changed. So there's some of the signs and symptoms that I look out for. So if I stumble in my videos sometimes, just go, oh, Anna's got some extra helpers who are watching, and my throat will start to change. These are some of the symptoms I talk about in my book. Now remember, I'm going to finish now because I know I ramble on. They're not to be feared, they're to be understood. They have become part of your existence, whether in your energy field or your home or at work or in the car, for a reason. Seek out someone like myself who can help you. There are lots of people doing energy work out there, and there are people who specialize in it. I've been doing this for a long time, and I have a very solid understanding and a good reputation with them. So I can assist with this work very quickly and for the benefit of the client as well as the energy being, because we all deserve respect, compassion and respect. And love, they don't vibrate towards love because that is too far beyond their release. It's too far beyond their understanding, is that they are comfortable with the words compassion and respect. All right, have a good day. Be aware of the surroundings around you and just have conversations. If you're not feeling comfortable about your home, you're feeling strange all of a sudden, you don't feel like yourself anymore and you just don't know why, see your doctor, excuse me, talk to your mental health professional. If they give you a clear bill of health, see an energy clearer. Because as much as we are mentally, emotionally and physically structured, we are spiritually structured. So you need to seek support from all those angles. Thank you very much for watching today. I really enjoy conversing with you about this topic. It is something I'll be talking about a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.